Like, yo, man, look, we at it, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, we about to get in on it. We about to make it work. You know, about to have a good little time, a good little conversation. You know what I mean? You ready for that?
I'm ready.
You ready? Hey, we live, baby.
We live.
Hey.
Right now.
Hey.
Direct.
What up, world? Welcome back to another episode of Athletes Vision, where we dive into the lives of these student athletes, you know, these untold stories as they chase their dreams in the lives of sports.
You gonna say your name?
I am Mike Nunley, man. I'm Mike, man. And our guest today?
Oh, my name is Tylerr from Bronx, New York. You know, just chilling.
The Bronx. And my name is Tylerr Benson. And before we get this episode started, you guys know the deal. Every morning, 8 a.m. Not every morning. Every Monday morning, 8 a.m. You can find this podcast anywhere you can find podcasts.
Yep.
If you watch us on YouTube in particular, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, please. It helps us immensely. But, man, enough about me, man. What's going on, man? How you living, bro?
Yeah, I'm living good, man.
You living
y'all
all right?
acting like y'all don't see me every day, bro. Y'all
Acting brand new, you know?
every day,
But
bro.
it's different, though, because now we get to sit here and, like, have a conversation with you about, I mean, we always have conversations every day.
Yeah.
But then you get to share it with the world a little bit, you know what I mean? So, like, you already told them where you was from, man, but let's break it down, man. Like, in your live or sports, man, like, you know, let us know a little bit about you,
Well,
man.
first off,
Oh, yeah.
Tylerr, what sport do you play?
I've played a lot of sports, but my main one is basketball, as we all
Hoop
know.
dreams. Was that 4 in a row? 3 in a row? How many hoopers you got in a row now?
4? No.
We got a lot of hoopers now.
We had
Khalil.
Yeah, y'all got
then we
4.
had
Kev.
Sakath, then we had Mo.
Now you,
Don't
On
disrespect
the
my
back
man
D.
Caleb. Caleb tough like that too.
oh, Caleb tough?
Caleb
tough.
Hooper.
Caleb a hooper.
Noah's a
Noah a
hooper
hooper too.
too.
So really, we all hoopers.
Yeah,
We all hoopers.
nah,
You know what I'm saying?
we
Nah,
good.
but yeah.
But you know, I played basketball mainly. I started that I mean, I've lived it my whole life. My dad played overseas. My sisters played up until high school.
Okay.
I was coaching when I was in the first grade. You know, coaching. But I also played football. I trained with the track team when I was in high school. That's what I played soccer, but I wasn't a huge fan of soccer. But other than that, basketball
watch
was
your
my
tone, bro.
main love.
You talking to right now.
I mean,
your
you know I'm
coach,
trying to
man.
get right with it. You feel me?
Hey,
know
we
I'm
get
trying
you
to
right. You know what I'm
with it.
saying?
But, you know, basketball was my main focus.
I got you.
Football was probably my second love. But,
got you.
you know, all those sports kind of helped me into my basketball now, like how my game is now. So
Yeah.
it all worked out, you know. But,
Yeah, man. We'll start young, right?
Yeah.
So what, you know, the beginning of your journey, bro?
I started playing basketball when I was in the 3rd grade. My dad was my coach from 3rd grade to 8th grade. You know how my dad
man,
is.
big shout outs to Pops, man.
Shout out to Pops, shout out to my moms,
man,
my
dudes,
sister.
man.
But my knowledge of basketball has always been high because of my dad, because I started so early.
Okay.
So when I started in 3rd grade, it was, you know, like the little pee-wee stuff. But then in like 5th grade, I started playing travel with Coach Tony Wright. And I played at Asphalt Green. It was down in like 86th Street in the east side. And then he left the organization and started his own, and I went with him.
Okay.
So I played with him from 5th grade until like 12th grade.
Okay.
And then I just, from there throughout 3rd grade to now, I've been hooping, you know?
Yeah, hooper, man. So a lot of the other hoopers that we had on here recently, all from that Nova area. You're the first one outside of that. So talk about really dive into basketball in New York City. Like, what was going on?
It's different, you know?
Yeah.
It's a higher level it's a higher pace.
I got you.
I've played with a lot of higher ranked athletes and stuff like that. So when I started, it was like, all right, this is easy. I was playing a bunch of people in Riverdale. Like, that don't mean nothing. That's not high comp. When I started in 5th grade, we started playing in Harlem. I started playing those like real hoopers, those kids that was going out every day, getting shots up in the park, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I had to really like change my game, especially once I got to high school, because from like middle school and that point, I was a starter. You know, I was getting the minutes I wanted, not just because my dad was my coach, because my dad he was not easy on me. If I wasn't doing well in school, I literally, and I'll tell the truth, I didn't do well in school in the 6th grade. He benched me for the whole 6th grade. I literally only played, like, I want to say beginning of the year, I failed the test. He said, until you get your grade up, you've benched. I was benched like 4 games, bro.
Jeez.
But that was the
Life
student.
lessons, man.
Yeah,
Those are
that
those
was the
things.
student
Life
athlete,
lessons.
bro. I
Student-
didn't realize it.
And that's what we have, right? So we trying to get people to like tell that story, right?
Yeah.
So like you got, even though let's talk about that, right? So you get benched, right? In 6th grade, you know, and knowing how it wasn't, so your dad didn't show any favoritism, right?
Yeah,
None at
huge.
all. So
Which I didn't
most,
want, you know?
but most people that have a dad as a coach, right, knowing that they can do whatever they want, right, and get their way if they good or not. Right, you was probably one of the better players on your team, correct?
Yeah.
Right, and your dad didn't care about that. He sacrificed.
Yep.
Right, he sacrificed the win, right, for education.
Yep.
That is the most important thing that people that what separates pops, right? That would separate
Yeah.
dads. That would separate him because he knows the value, right? You can be great here, but if your schoolwork is not where it needs to be yet, you're not gonna get where you want.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I like touch base on that, man. You know that you got, like set down. So let's talk on it. Touch on it.
I mean, I didn't realize it then that it was important
yeah.
because no kid wants to be in school,
Yeah.
But I didn't realize it then that it was important. But now I understand why he did it, because my route didn't go where I wanted it to go later on in life. I wanted to hoop. I wanted to hoop on a college level. And it kind of veered off to me being more in the background, which we'll talk about later, I'm sure. So I'm glad that he pushed that education early in on me so that I was prepared just in case. So I had a backup plan.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't just school. He sat me down in AAU too. He was like, yo, he is not playing. So I had to go and be a good teammate. I cheered on my team. It was no issue,
It's tough, man. Yeah, a lot of, like you said, like a lot of kids, like they don't understand until after. And then they know. They're like, hey, look, like, and the thing is, like, as many times as they hear it, like, unless you live it, you're not gonna know. But I'm telling you right now, I can't tell you how many times on this podcast that we've had right now, in the 8 episodes that we had, that we've heard something like that. So if you haven't started listening to that, like, take note, please. Because, like, you heard over and over and over, like, maybe something's a little, you know what I'm saying? You should probably listen to that.
Hey.
So that's real.
Ain't no harm in having a backup plan.
It's
bro.
not.
Like,
You need to have a
You
backup
have
plan.
to.
And like you think about it, right? Like all these kids, like especially nowadays, like Mo on the last episode was telling, everybody wants that quick gratification. Like nowadays, everybody's seeing on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, TV. They're like, oh, like this dude, so and so's, making all this money going pro, or even just like, however making money on like TikTok or whatever. And like, they go all in on that, and they have nothing to fall back on.
Correct.
And it's like, you're going to school, might as well get your education, might as well pay attention to your education, because at the end of the day, that's gonna end up getting you farther than sports will. And just like even if you play sports, right, you're gonna be playing till 35,
Yeah.
maybe,
And-
right? Maybe, like,
even
Yeah.
it's statistics, man. Like, you're in high school, you go to high school, only about maybe 20%, if you're really good and you go to a good high school, is going off to college.
Yeah.
And that 20%, about maybe 30% of that 20% is going D1.
yeah,
5% of D1 is going to the league.
So you got it right there. So let's tap in on that, right? So now we're gonna tap in that you're getting into your high school career, right? So right now, this is where it gets really, really like. First of all, before we get to there, like you're looking at 2 of the high school coaches. I'm the head coach over at Brentsville District High School. This is my head assistant coach over there, is Tylerr,
Yes,
man.
sir.
So we had this for a while, man, and like that's why it's special to be able to tell this journey now, because we have explained this to our high school kids, right? But I don't think they really understand it, right? So now they get to play it back, right? They get to go back and listen to your journey. So give us that, right? You that 20%, right? And you felt like you was in that 20% at the time,
Yeah,
right?
I did in middle school. So when I went into high school, my high school career was every year started off average and it ended good, except for my freshman year. So I'm going in as a freshman. My dad's telling me, yo, just try out for the varsity team. If you don't make it, you got freshman tryouts, you got JV tryouts, just go.
Yeah.
I didn't listen. I was terrified, bro.
Yeah, of course.
I was absolutely terrified. I didn't even want to try. So I went to the freshman tryouts. Coach was I never liked this coach ever. So I went in, barely made it. I was at the end of the bench all year. All year I was at the end of the bench. But this is where I learned I had to become a role player. Not everybody can be a star. So
Yo,
I became a role player. I knew I was good at defense. I knew I could pass the ball better than anybody on the court, and I knew my IQ was high enough where I could be on the floor. So I used that. So one day, I'll never forget this because I had food poisoning. We went to a game. We had a game at Cardinal Spellman. It's up in Yonkers. I practiced at the gym across the street. And we were there. We lost to Cardinal Spellman. I didn't play not 1 minute. It was in the middle of the year, too. That night, I don't know what was wrong with me. My dad was like, yo, what you want for dinner, man? Just don't let this get to you. My dad went to every game. My dad went to every game. My mom went to every game she could. I had hella support. So I never got down because my parents was in my corner. I always had people with me on my side. So I went back home. I was like, yo, we got the McDonald's. I didn't even touch it. I was throwing up. I don't know what I ate at school. I was throwing up profusely, bro. I couldn't keep nothing down. So I was there, and I get a phone call, and it was my coach. I was like, yo, what's up, coach? I got healthy real quick.
He's like,
And he was like, yeah, man, I'm thinking about starting you this next game. Mind you, we were playing the worst team in the league, bro. He was like, yeah, I'm just going to start him and see what I can get. So I was like, all right, whatever. I was like, yeah, coach. And he asked me, what do you think we need to improve on? And I gave him, I didn't know then until now that there's a difference between what a coach wants to hear and what you think a coach wants to hear. I gave him every answer I thought a coach would want to hear. Yeah, we need to move the ball more, talk on defense. I think, we need to move more on defense, and I was speaking out my behind, bro. It didn't even, he said, oh yeah, man, so I'm thinking I'm going to start you next game. We won that next game by 20. It didn't mean nothing. Started me the next game. And it kept going. I started the rest of the year. We went 8-0, went to the championship. Got to the championship, and I played the first 5 minutes, had no turnovers, 5 assists. He sat me for the rest of the game. Right after the first quarter, sat me halfway through the first quarter, sat me the rest of the game. I didn't go in until 30 seconds left on the clock. We were down 11, and we lost the championship. We went to the locker room. I was the last one in the locker room. I was pissed. I was like, yo, I didn't play. I don't know why I didn't play. And he was like, yo, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't think he was going to get off my bench. I had never been so disrespected in my life. I walked out. I was confused. I told my dad. He was like, what he said to you? My dad was I was like, yo, this is a guy out here, man. I don't even want to be here no more. I just want to go. All right. So I'm going into my sophomore year. I didn't know who called me. I don't know how they got my number, but they were like, yo, I need you to go to the summer league game. I was like, all right, I'll go. I didn't even play. They didn't even need me. But the coach that was there was going to be my sophomore year coach, my JV coach. Didn't know that. He didn't know me. I didn't know him. I watched a little bit of the game, and I left. Going into my sophomore year, I realized that was the coach, and same situation happened. Went to the JV tryouts, made it. I was at the end of the bench. Not as far, but I was at the end.
I got you.
And somewhere in the season, it was earlier in the season, he starting me. I started getting some good minutes, And he realized my value because I just did what they wanted. I knew my role. Play defense, talk on defense, be a floor general when needed, pass the ball. That's all I needed to do. I went from averaging 2 points on freshman to averaging about 7. And then we went to the championship that year. We won the championship by 11. And that was it for my sophomore year was pretty average. It wasn't crazy, But I loved it because my coach knew my value. So it was a more fulfilling moment. But then my junior year, I ain't gonna lie, my junior year, I don't hate it because we did so much and I was a part of something so large. But it's just I felt like I didn't do enough in that part.
So speak on it. Like, what was the talent level like to make you feel like that? You see what I'm saying?
So I played with and against a lot of D1, D2, NBA prospects. I was in homeroom with the NBA prospect. I'm not gonna name drop because I don't need nobody calling me saying, yo, you name drop me. Right? I don't need none of that in my life, bro. So I played against some dudes that went to the league. I played against some dudes that are in the G League now. I played with my boy that goes to West Virginia. I played against and with some of the dudes that was on that Kansas State team that just went to the Final Four this year. Played with a lot of D2. I played with a lot of good players.
Yeah.
So my junior year, I realized, like, yo, I really got to, like, buckle down. If I want minutes, I got to buckle down. I got to tryouts. I knew I was going to get on the team because I was in fall league and I was in summer league.
Yeah.
So I was like, I know I can get on the team. I know I have a good chance. So I was in it. The coach, we went through tryouts. The coach came up to me. It was my turn to go in. You know, the classic, yo, I'm going to call your name in. I'm going to tell you whether or not you made it. If you didn't make it, I'm going to tell you your reasons why and what you can improve on. Yeah. Same stuff that all coaches say.
Yep.
I'm in there. He's like, yo, you got two options. Option one, I cut you and I pick someone else. Option two, mind you, shout out to Coach Purnell. Coach Jerome Purnell was a big father figure in my life, like in those 2 years, just like in school where my dad wasn't there, and he took that responsibility not from my dad, but out of respect for my dad to make sure that I was good.
Yeah.
So, option two, you be on the team, you sit at the end of the bench. I was like, I'll take option two. I said it real quick. Option two, I need that.
But it's crazy. Before you go on though, like, look at this. Look at the journey. Look at the patterns, right?
Yeah.
Freshman year, end of the bench. Sophomore year, end of the bench. Not so far down, but end of the bench. Right?
Yeah.
Then you get in there, coach's office, your junior year, which is, we call it the hardest year in high school, right?
It's the year that, if you want to get out and get it, and you want to go to college, junior year is the most important year. Pay attention, people. It is the most important year. That is the year where, one, you need to focus on your sport, because senior year, you can do those extra sports and stuff like that. But junior year is where they're looking at you. That's where you want to get your scholarships. You want to get to calling coaches. You want to go to all those little clinics, even if it's a school that you don't want to go to. College is not cheap. If you can get that little scholarship to a college that you didn't want to go to at first, it doesn't make a difference, because money is always tight. Correct. Whether you're rich or poor. Yep, it's always tight. It's 100%. Not easy to come by. So go after those scholarships. Go to schools you want to go to first. Call them first. Those schools that are on the back burner, still give them a call. Ask for information. Get those scholarships now in junior year.
Cool. Yep. Yeah, we'll speak on
my junior year.
Speak on your junior year, man.
Here we go. My junior year I was at the end of the bench. I got no minutes. There was no chance. I was playing behind NBA prospect, 2 Division IIs, 2 JUCOs, and then the next one, he was a sophomore on the varsity team the year before during our sophomore year, and then the one after him was a senior that just knew the system already. So I was already like in a 7-8 man rotation. I was like 10.
I got you.
So I went from there, and I was like, yo, I gotta buckle down. We went all over. Our team went 27-2. We won the whole state of New York that year.
That's very tough.
Yeah. But in practice, I hustled my behind off, made sure my GPA was fine. I had a 3.7 then. Okay. I just made sure when my time came, I was ready.
That's the key, right?
Huge.
That's
so there's this one tournament we went to during the Christmas, and it was in Florida. Didn't get no minutes then, but we had a second tournament after New Year's that was local, and we went to that, and one of our players was acting a fool in class, was acting a fool in general, right? And he was like, yo, Tyler, you in? So we was playing. It was a tight game, and we ended up winning, but I was in like crunch time because we had foul trouble, and it was just like, yo, I need you. I remember it to this day. It was right before halftime. I got a rebound. I ran so fast. I just started dribbling. I got to half court. My coach called a timeout because I didn't know what to do with it. He was like, yo, I just didn't want you to lose it. I don't know where you got that rebound from, but you went so fast. I wanted to make sure we had possession. I was like, yo, I got the ball, coach. So after that, we went into like conference play, and I started this one game. it was like one of our bigger games because we always played them in the championship. Every year I've played this team 3 out of the 4 times I went to the championship in my high school career, because I went to the championship every year in my high school career.
Okay.
That's very tough.
So I made sure that, like, when I started, I had 5 points that game. I was so happy. My coach had this one little rule, like, yo, you either got a permit or a license to do certain things. I had a permit to shoot. No, I didn't have nothing to shoot. I was not allowed to shoot at all. My jump shot was garbage, bro. And you know that. You see my jump shot when I came into college. But my jump shot was so bad. But he was working on it with me.
Yeah.
So I shot this 1-3 and I made it. My whole team was lit. Like, yeah. And then I had this one steal. Because I was still playing defense. Like, I was always on the hardest guard. I was always known to be on the hardest person to guard.
Yeah.
So that didn't change. It just eased up everything on my other teammates that were known for scoring, which was fine with me. That's what I was good at, as long as I'm getting minutes. So I did that, got this one steal. Right before the buzzer, I just threw it up there. Cash. We went into halftime, and I was like, yo, my coach said, yo, you starting this half? After I started that half, I sat down because I was cool. I was like, I started. I'm cool. Yeah. But after that, I'm so serious. I was cool with it. I was like, I'm down, bro. Yeah. I'm cool. But after that, I didn't go in until like 30 seconds left on the clock because we was beating them by 30. We beat every team by 30 or more. Jeez. On our senior night, we beat a team 112 to 37.
Oh my god.
Make it make sense, bro.
Yeah, nah, y'all are dogs.
But that's who you are, though. I mean, that's what I say. Your journey is crazy, right? Because you was humble, right? But you also was competitive, right? You was humble, but you also was hungry. So like you was like, just give me that time, right? Just give me something, I'm gonna give you something.
Yeah, because in practice, I had to, like, when we was doing suicides and stuff like that, and I made sure I was first. Yep. Always have to be first. Show that you want to be there. So I just made sure I showed that I wanted to be there and I wanted to contribute something. But after that game, I went from being, because one of the kids quit.
I got you.
I got lucky. He quit. Right? So after that, I went from being 10th to being 8th in a 7-man rotation. So if someone fouls out, if they're not a big or they're a guard, I'm right there. Right. I'm ready. Next.
Ready.
So I just made sure to stay ready.
Yeah.
So after that, we kept going. We lost 2 games, and it was just in this tournament. And I don't know what was wrong with us, but mentally we just weren't locked in. So after that, we kept going, went into federations, right? We won the whole federations. I know how to describe it here. So for New York, it goes, you play cities, you play states, and then you play federations. Cities is your conference. So for me, I was going to a Catholic school. It was my conference. I played in my conference, and I won my conference. Yeah. After that, you go to states. States is you're playing someone in the same conference as you, or the same level, because here you have 3A, 4A, and stuff like that. We have double A, and B. I was in the B.
I got you.
Right? So we were playing people in that, like, in our state, but that was more local. The federations is everywhere. So all of New York, from public schools, private schools, Catholic schools, all of it.
That's tough.
And we won the whole thing. I'll never forget it. We went to the dinner. My dad came up to me, and he was like, yo, why don't you look more excited? I was like, yo, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't feel like I earned it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I did anything.
Yeah, I feel you.
And I think I was just so hard on myself because I knew what I could do.
Yeah.
But my dad was like, yo, I want you to think about it like this. All those times at practice that you was running so hard. Yep. And my coach, like, what made it better was my coach, like, vouched for it. Like, all those times you was in practice running hard, it made the other guys push.
Correct.
All those times you was guarding them. You're known for guarding the hardest person to guard. So they have to really work to go by you and stuff like that. All that stuff prepared them to do this, like, get this W.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All of this prepared them to win. So being that you put your all into practice, it made it easier so that when they went into the game, it was just practice. Yeah. So after that, I went into my senior year. my coach made me a captain, and he in that summer he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna need you to learn how to score." Like,
so you seen the pattern change.
Yeah. Finally not on the bench no more, baby.
Yeah, crazy. Like, I went from end of the bench to starter.
Starter, baby.
Like,
to
why?
captain.
Yeah,
Not even just
captain,
starter.
no.
Like, you in there.
They saw something, right?
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like I just told Khalil this, you know, on like two episodes ago.
Oh yeah.
You know, I told Khalil, I was just like, you got 4 years to get it right in high school and in college, right? I just said it to him.
You did.
4 years.
Yeah.
Right? Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, right? You always improve, right? So now you got the chance to, now you that captain, now it's different pressure.
Yeah, it was different, right? Definitely different pressure. So I was in, I'm a totally different person now than in high school. I was shy. I wasn't very vocal until I got on the court. I turned into a different person. I was very, very aggressive on the court.
You're a competitor, baby.
So I was like, yo, like we need to do these things. But in that summer, my coach was like, yo, I just need you to average 10 points. And I was like, I mean, that's not really what I do, coach. Like, I had dudes in front of me that was just scoring. Like, they just do it. Like, the first 3 games of the season, my boy Corey Williams had averaged 30 points.
Yeah.
He averaged 30 points throughout the whole year.
That's crazy.
Dog.
Exactly,
He's a
bro.
dog,
It
yeah.
just make it make sense.
Certified modified dog.
How you say?
Dog. Nah, but all seriousness, like I didn't know how to do it just yet. My dad taught me how to do it. Yeah. I knew how to do it. I just didn't know how to put it into practice. And then I just made it to what I knew how to do: play defense, learn passing lanes. Football came into play. My training with the cross country team came into play. I was always in shape. I was always working on my game. My dad was so supportive. He cut off all of our grass and put a court in my backyard. I ain't never had no reason to not get shots up.
Yeah, nah.
I had no reason.
Yeah.
He gave my fault. I had a weight jacket, 40-pound weight jacket. He said, during the summer, you gonna walk with this. My coach had me wake up. I was basically going to school in the summer because my coach had me wake up. I would be working out with him at 7 in the morning, from 7 to 9. Then he would make me go upstairs to his office, and I would do my summer readings in his office. Make me write a paper and submit it to him every day.
But that's what a lot of kids need, right?
Facts.
That supporting system. It don't just, it starts at home.
Yeah.
Right. It don't end at home. It starts at home. It doesn't end at home. And I think that your dad saw that, and your coach saw your value, but they saw something in you, so they can instill it in you, so you can be able to push it out to others.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which lead in your senior year, you know, that was the same patterns that you ended up winning the states that senior year as well.
No, so we lost in the championship.
Okay.
But I went from averaging like 7 points in my sophomore year, having no points obviously because I sat the bench, to my senior year. I started off averaging about 7, but then there was this one game where like a switch flip, and it was we went to that same tournament I told you about where I ended up playing, and I started moving up into and we played, ironically, the team that won the whole state of New York, and they were beating us. And during halftime, like our coach, my head coach, got sick the night before, couldn't come in. So our assistant coach, who was the head JV coach, he was like, "Yo, like y'all gotta wake up." After that, I went to the line 10 times. I had a chance to make 20 points. I didn't. I made about like 10 of them. I made like 10 of them, but I made them. The more important ones were at the end, and I made those.
Yeah, I got you.
And I was just locking up. We ended up winning by 2. After that, I went from averaging 10 points to averaging 15.
Yeah.
I just like all those things that my coach was helping me with. I had another coach that I was playing for the Puerto Rican Legends team because my dad played overseas in Puerto Rico. That coach came over. And he was like, "Yo, like I want your son to. We're trying to build a little 14U team." And I was playing with them for like 14 to like 18. And he was like, "Yo, just one game." He told me, "Yo, just get the ball to Tylerr. Like I need him to have 20.
That's tough.
I need him to have 20."
That's trust.
Yeah,
That is.
and I was lucky to have coaches that just trusted me. The only coach that didn't trust me was my freshman year one. But after that, I went and I was averaging 17. In one of our playoff games, I got kneed in the thigh.
Mm-hmm.
I had this knot that wouldn't go away. It would just not go away, bro.
Yep.
So I was just every game, but I had to play because I was averaging so much. So I just needed to be on the floor so they would come to me. My teammates were great at scoring. I just told you, homeboy averaged 30.
Yeah.
They were great at scoring. If they're coming to me, all I gotta do is play defense. I could do that with a bum leg. Yeah. As long as you don't get the ball first, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm denying you hard. You don't get the ball, I'm good. Right? So we went into the championship game and we lost by 2 points. But no, sorry, we lost by 1 point. We're playing the whole game. I shot a 3 and I went for 2 layups. I got fouled. I got fouled 3 times. I only had 3 points that game because I only made 1 free throw each time. I literally had the worst pain in my leg possible. But before the game, I just told my sister, I was like, yo, I just need you to make sure I can play. Just get it good enough where I can at least run a little bit.
Yeah.
And I ended up having the most rebounds on my team. I had 9 rebounds. I don't know how. I was like 5'11". I told people I was 6 foot though. I'm 6 foot now though.
Yeah. Me too.
But
crazy.
But we lost because my boy Jimmy missed the wide open layup, the most open layup I've ever seen. After that, we lost. I went home, and I was on the drive home. I was driving home 2 of my best friends, and they were in the car. I was just looking out the window, trying to choke back tears. I was pissed. All that work. Now I felt like I earned going to the championship because I did the work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was like I did all this just to lose.
Yeah.
I was pissed, bro. I was just for the next 3 days, I was just out of it. It was like, wow.
But that's what hits you though. You know what I mean? Like because you waiting for an opportunity to get back into a game that you believe you belong, right? And then you feel like you couldn't give it everything because of an injury.
Yeah.
Right. So now when you lose all of that, those emotions, those feelings, the hard work in the gym, defensively, offensively, the goal in the backyard. Don't know how you was messing up all those jumpers, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But but you had opportunities to help your team, and you felt like you couldn't give them everything. That's what I'm saying, right? So I mean, which T man, like honestly, man, that the high school career just it shaped you, right? So I mean, you came into college, right? So this is where we met, right?
Yes,
so,
sir.
So everybody know that our connection, George Mason University is. We all alums. Tylerr, he just graduated.
Sir. He just graduated. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He graduated.
Oh, you messing up the hands?
Nah, I won't mess it up as much.
Yes,
but you know what I'm saying? But he just graduated college, man. Proud of you on that. But also, man, he went into, before he graduated college, his freshman year coming in, I was coaching the club team there, right?
Yes, sir.
So came in and coached the club team. It was my second season coaching the club team, and I needed tryouts. Right, so he walked in and tryouts.
I walked in late, no less.
Walked in late to tryouts. It's the
Because I was
funniest
in the
thing.
home gym.
Yeah, it's the funniest thing. He walked in late. T, you gonna laugh? He walked in late, and he walked in jogging pants.
Of course you did.
Right. So we grew up. Well, I grew up. We had this saying, right? If you wear jogging pants, you either could hoop or you was trash.
Yeah.
It was no in between.
It's one
you know what I mean? So he came in and I looked at him. I said the same thing. I said, yo, either you can hoop or you're trash. He looked at me and said, nah, I can hoop, coach. He's a freshman. So he come in there, first thing he did, first 3 minutes, did a little weave drill, 3, 2, and 1 drill, right? He came in and I see him get up there. I'm like, yo, this kid got bounced.
He got bugged.
Went up to him and Steven. I was like, hey.
Yeah, so I'm looking at y'all.
So I'm
too.
looking at y'all too.
Mind you, bro, we was only like 10 minutes into tryouts, bro. And he said it right next to other people, bro. So we sitting there, I'm like, he said, yeah, I'm looking at y'all too.
You too.
I might find some other things. Yeah, but I'm looking at y'all too.
But
hey, man,
I did that because you wanted people to know, like, we had a decent team. We had a pretty good team.
Yeah.
PJ was there. Hey, PJ, man,
Oh,
look.
yeah, PJ.
Hey,
We got to get him on there.
We had to get you here, PJ, man.
Yeah.
Like, hey, PJ was another guy that was
PJ,
on the was squad, man. Yeah, PJ dropped 30. He was averaging like 26.
He like, all right. Yeah, he's a little short.
Yeah, we got PJ. We got PJ. No disrespect, but yo, man, hey, we taller, baby.
Oh, God.
But that whole season, man, it was a growing pain, right? The whole season, like, because they came in thinking that, because that year before we made it to the Final Four in regionals. Mm-hmm. So everybody's expectations. So we had a squad, man. We had a squad that year before. You know, we won our conference. You know, we was conference champions. Went 14-4, and then we come back with this team right here, and no one showed up. Nobody showed up to practice. Right? We was at practice, man.
You be so mad.
Yeah, 6:30 practice. I did 6:30 practice because the college students were classes. Mm-hmm. But he knew he was there. I'm there every day. You know, we end up going to work, just boom, boom, boom. We in there just grinding, trying to do everything we can. I said, we got an hour and 15 minutes. You know, hour and 15 minutes. I got to go to work. Yeah. Right? So we grinded. Boom. But they're staying there and they'll do king of the court right after I left just to get better.
I had class, so I left.
So everybody, but the other, you know, people was getting to get better. So, but I used that because I saw something in his game, right? And I just kept telling him, I challenged him every time. So one game, T, you going to laugh. He in the game, he's shooting threes.
I'm shooting a bunch of threes.
T. And I look at him in the middle of the game. I said, stop shooting threes.
I was like, yo, coach, it's in my game. He was like, stop shooting threes.
And get to the basket. Nobody can stop you right now to get to the basket. He had no points.
0.
In the first game. So we played 3 games in one day, T. He ended up going to the basket, 25, 26. His dad at the end of the game go, that's why I've been trying to tell him. You know, I've been trying to tell him, get to the basket. You know, every time he just think he one of the young guys out here trying to do this, you know? And I was just like, yo, Pops, man, I'm trying. He said, yo, stay on him. Stay on him. Stay on him. So, you know, but it was good, though. So I used that because that journey that 1 year, because we got to coach you that 1 year, you know what I'm saying? So, but I used that because I saw something in you that your coaches saw in you in high school, but I saw it early. Yeah. Right? I identified it early, right? So I analyzed fast to see it, right? And when I did that, I saw something in you again, not only as a player, but also as a mentor, right? Mm-hmm. As a, you know, as someone that, you know, honestly can develop and give other kids the opportunity that you wanted, right? And I saw that in you. So, you know, when COVID hits, you know, everybody know when COVID hits, it changed a lot of things, right? Yeah, but that's when we got closer, right? Yeah. So when COVID hit, it was kind of like, you know, I'm working, the only person at work, you know, and then Tyler, now I'm talking to Tyler, he's working, but I'm the only one at work, right? This one, T was still working for me, right? You know, and I'm like, T, man, like, I'm going crazy in here. Then you show up, T was like, yo, man, I got to get up out of here. But he was in his senior year in college, right? So me using that, we got closer because we end up coaching together, right? Developing together, which leads to the next journey, right? Because you actually went to school. You just graduated with your
sports management degree.
Man.
Yes, sir.
Correct, man. We're proud of that, you know. But you also, the things you want to get into is coaching, right? Yeah. You know, on that college level, right? Yep. You know, and then potentially can go to pros. But right now, you know, we coaching at the high school level, right?
I mean, I'm not. Hey, I love it. Hey, them Brentford boys, we coming.
We coming, man. We coming, man. We coming. Like, cause we ain't gonna ease up on them, but we got the best supporting cast ever. Like T Benson Photos, man, photography. He came in and he shot the whole little, you know, thing for us. But you and me, I think, was more hype than the kids. You know what I'm saying? Because we see something there, right? And we try to share that journey with it, right? So, you know, speak on your first year, man, of like coaching at the high school level, man. As a coach,
you know, it was weird because I'm not that much older than them. Mm-hmm. So, you know, sometimes that respect aspect isn't there because they see me as an equal when I'm not.
Gotcha.
So it was harder because I really had to like show them like, yo, I know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. So y'all need to just listen. Sometimes, I hate to say it because I was a player. Sometimes a coach knows better. You know, they know. Only times they might not know is when it's game time situations. That's when they ask questions. Good coaches also ask questions. Mm-hmm. What do you see? Mm-hmm. Where do you see these? You need these adjustments. Mm-hmm. You need these adjustments because we're trying to help y'all. Mm-hmm. So, it was interesting because it's hard for me to articulate what I want you to do without showing you. Mm-hmm. And when I'm in, like, especially during games, it was real hard because, I mean, in my opinion, we had a losing season. Yeah, we won 6 games. We did better than the other coaches, but we expected that.
Expectations were different, man. Yeah, 6 wins out of 22, we still lost.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm not proud of that.
Yeah,
Oh, am I proud that we finally made it to regionals after a few years? Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's a.
It was a guarantee.
Has Bristol ever been to regionals? Like,
in like 2011.
Before then, 3
I'm
about to say, bro.
Earlier than that.
But at the end of the day, to speak on that though, T, like you right though, like we came in, you know.
Let me speak on that because I got to watch from the outside.
Correct.
Like because like I said, I made that video. I made that hype video at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year, and y'all had won 1 game. Before that, the year before, not y'all, but like the old coach, like they won 1 game the year before. And the thing that you said was, oh my gosh, it was right off the top of my head. It's like we came in, we had 1 game. He's like, it's got to be better than that. Like our mentality's got to change. That's what it was. It's gonna be a different mentality. And like y'all brought that different mentality. And the thing is, like that's where I was here like to help support y'all. I'm like, I'll gash y'all. There was a point that I told you, I was like, I'm not going to no more games if y'all keep getting blown out like that. I would shoot all the games like just like I do it for the college teams. Like I would like, yo, trying to make it feel good. But like y'all get blown out. I'm like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
It's only but so much I can record.
It's only, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll put that camera now, but it's like the work that you guys came in there and like also big shout out to Caleb. Like y'all had them boys working. And like again, what I'll say is, and you guys both know this, but like Brentsville's not a basketball school. You didn't have a lot of hoopers. You know what I'm saying? Yet. But last year you did it. Yeah. And so and Tyler, like particularly with you, like my girls, like I coach high school sports as well. I coach high school soccer. I coach a travel team and a high school team, and you have several of my girls that come to you and they love you like instantly, right? And like your mentorship for them has been huge. Like they keep coming back there. They love it. They want to go back to you and they see you. And so like, I mean, you stepped into it so naturally. And like, that's the thing I think the 3 of us kind of share is like just that like mentorship, that leadership, that passion. And it's something that I think you do a hell of a job. Like it's
I try my best. You know,
it's a natural, it's a gift, man. You know what I mean? So don't take that for granted, man.
It's because I want kids to have the opportunities I didn't.
Gotcha.
It's not because I never understood it, and I asked my parents one time because one day in high school, in my junior year, they understood because my dad went to a D2 school. He went to Southampton, and he was like, "Yo, like this is the year we need to start." They asked me because I started my college search in junior year to go to college, and they was like, "Yo, if you serious about this, like, what do you want to do? Like, what schools you want to go to?" And they misunderstood me. And I'm not mad at it now because obviously my path changed. I said, I don't want to focus my school on athletics. I don't want to just look for the best athletic school. Yep. They meant it as like, yo, what do you want to do? Because we'll start calling coaches and stuff like that. I told them, yo, I just don't want to focus on it because God forbid, I knew I wasn't the best. Yeah. I wasn't getting no minutes. I don't have no film to show these coaches. Yeah. Nothing. Except for that's it. That's all I got. Yeah. That's all I got to show you. But they was like, yo, we'll call those coaches. I just asked them about this like last year. And they was like, yo, like, why don't you try? You know? I was like, you know, I just don't want to focus on athletics. Yeah. And I'm glad I didn't because it obviously didn't work out. Because even in my senior year, I had homeboy scoring 30. People was coming for him. Only but so much defense and passing can get you. You know, everybody. A coach wants somebody that can do everything. So you got to be well rounded. But I'm not mad at it. You know, I veered off. I came into what I'm doing now. I went through a lot of paths. I started when I was right after high school. I started working for the Big Three as an equipment manager. I fell in love with that. When I got to college, not only was I doing club, I became a practice player for the women's team. I started loving that. I just started loving the behind the scenes stuff. Stuff that people don't see. Practices, game, like film. I never thought I would love film.
Love it. Breaking it
Watching
down.
mistakes. Learning from it. That was one thing that I think I was very good at. I had a thirst to learn. But ironically, it just wasn't school. I wasn't obsessed with school. I was good at math, English. you know.
Yeah.
Okay, English, history, like cool. But I loved learning like little things. I had so many hobbies.
Facts.
Yeah.
I learned how to do a Rubik's cube. I learned how to do card tricks. Like I just learned stuff. Juggling. I never thought I would learn how to juggle. But all those things came back into my game.
Yeah.
I became juggling, hand-eye coordination. I had the ball on a string.
All of the same.
In regards to coaching, the Rubik's cube, I started thinking more critically.
Correct.
Card tricks is all about sleight of hand, making you look one way so you don't see what's happening on the backside. Same thing is happening in plays. Plays are just to get shots. It's not for you to run them.
That's the coordination, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's that. We call that, you simplify the game, but you simplified it with different aspects, like outside of like the game of basketball, right? Which is mind blowing. You know what I mean? Like you take a Rubik's cube, and I can see you done, right? Card trick, done, right? And you put that into your play, which is impressive. That's impressive.
And one thing that's very important, at least for the hoopers, hey, go out there and play some pickup, bro. Play some pickup. In my freshman year, before you even knew me, I was playing it. Skyline had no comp, but it was closest to my dorm. I didn't feel like walking all the way to the rack, so I was in there every night.
But you said, where were you at though? You was in there.
Yeah, I was in there. I was
young athletes. He was in the gym, right? You want to get better, you got to get in the gym, right? I sent the group. A message earlier, like the AU team, just about like you got to hold yourself accountable. Yeah. Because every kid out here simply want to blame the coaches, for them not playing. But
we was always the bad guys.
Always,
right?
always the bad guys. It didn't matter what it was. We was always the bad guys. So then we looked at it like this. I'm okay with being the bad guy. Yeah. I'm okay with that. But I'm also the good guy because I'm giving you a recipe.
Yes.
Right. So, and that's where Tyler and I came in. I'm like, yo, T, how can we do this? He was like, I can do this. And I challenged you, right? I came in, it'd be games. I'm like,
what you see?
What you see?
Bro, I hated that question so much.
What you see? Because,
it was my first time, like, really, like, don't get me wrong. AAU matters.
Yeah.
But, like, this one has consequences.
Whether
I go to regionals or districts, this has consequences.
Yes. Every win counts.
That will really be remembered, like, in records.
Correct.
Yep. So, it was like, sheesh, man. I really, like, these decisions matter. Yeah. But it made me a better coach. I will say it did make me a better coach, and I appreciate it. Because, I was there. Like, my knowledge was always there. And freshman year, my knowledge was there. But I didn't know how to put it into play. Playing against those bums, I just started doing stupid stuff. But I got so much better. Yeah. I started doing behind-the-back layups in game. I started just trying to windmill. I just started doing stuff that I wasn't great at. Yeah. Started getting my shot right. Yeah. Just work on your game in those pickup games. Don't get hurt, though.
Yeah, but you said it, though. Work on your game. Like, you want to add to your game. So, which leads into us, trying to wrap this up, man, because like I think that at the end of the day, man, we can go on and on, but that's part 2. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, like what TB and I trying to do here, is trying to give a voice, right? We're not gonna say give a voice to the voiceless because you can all anybody can talk, but what we're trying to do is give the insight on the different type of like journeys that a lot of you athletes have been on. Like it doesn't matter how old we get, we always gonna be student athletes, right? Because we're students of the game and we think we still athletic, right? Yeah. I'm 41 now.
I'm about to think, but
I was about to say he the only one.
He don't think he not.
I'm pretty sure.
I know I am.
I know your boy turned 41. Like, wow,
Well, the day we're recording this is the boy's birthday right now. So happy birthday to the kid.
Today is my birthday. We're recording this.
I don't know how long in the future you're gonna see this one, but today's his birthday.
So like to be crazy, like we actually recording this on June 16th. But that's neither here or there. It's the journey behind this what got us here. You get what I'm saying? Like
you and I have had
a long journey, man. And the same thing with Ty, man. Yep. Like it's funny. I got 2 Tylerrs up here, right? Yep. And 2 of these Tylerrs.
This is the original Coach T right there. I'm Coach TC.
He's Coach T.
This is my family, man. Like I want you to understand something. Like what I've been able to do is be able to create this brotherhood that's going to carry on forever. You know what I mean? Like I was blessed with 2 brothers and a sister, right? but God has blessed me with more brothers than I can ever imagine and ask for. You know what I mean? And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for these conversations. You know, I'm thankful for just the, you know, the tough conversations. You know what I mean? Like, cause you know, like we have those conversations in that brotherhood, and I'm glad you're here. You know what I mean? And
I'm glad I'm here, man.
Yeah, man. And like I said, this is what it's all about, man.
Yeah,
like
man.
TB, man. Like we want to thank you, man. Like
Yeah,
you know what I
appreciate
mean? Like you
bro.
came on here, you just killed the jump.
Yeah.
You gave it everything.
Yeah.
But like, what's one thing? That's how we try to end it, man. What's one thing, man? You know, you want to help somebody else out there, you know, that's looking for that help, looking for that guidance, that be able to put them on the path that can, I'm not going to say make it easier, but help them, you know, move this way.
One thing I would say is your life doesn't rely on sports. Sports relies on you living. So live how you want to live.
Bro,
Find those hobbies, find those
tough,
little
man.
find those little things that you're interested in, but still work on your game. Like
That's tough.
you know, sports relies on you experiencing life. As those life experiences happen, just like for me, all those things came back into what I love, which was basketball.
Yeah.
But if I don't live my life, you know,
Hey, T,
Man, that was some
That
of the
was
deepest.
tough,
That's
man.
probably the deepest one we
Deepest-
had
Hey,
so far,
that was
baby.
tough.
I tried my best.
Oh my mama.
Oh, mama.
No, but hey, TB, man, like, hey, this is another one down, man, and we got plenty more to go, man, moving forward, man. This is season 1. This is only season 1, man.
Yeah, man.
Like, you got to stay tuned, but TB, do what you always do, man. Get us up out of here, man.
Yeah, man, Tyler. Appreciate you for coming out, brother,
Appreciate
man.
y'all having me, man. Appreciate
Everybody watching at home, again, reminder, every Monday, 8 a.m., new episode comes out. Make sure you're tuned in. You can hear it on anywhere you listen to the podcast. Make sure that if you're watching on YouTube, just leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It means the world. Super easy, super simple to
It's
do.
easy to do.
We're on a goal to get to 300 followers, so, subscribers, so, try to help us get there. But
Help us get there, man. Help
Hey,
us
we-
get there.
Hey, it's gonna be tough.
Hey,
Hey,
get there, bro.
the world is watching, bro.
Hey, man.
We going.
Hey.
Hey, it's gonna blow up.
Hey,
Just be
hey,
prepared.
hey.
remember the name, baby.
Hey,
So,
yeah, man. Athletes Vision, man. Like, hey, episode 8.
episode 8.
Episode 8, man. And I think we couldn't have a better episode, man. I
Nah,
think
this is
everybody, it
fantastic.
keeps getting better and better every single time. Man,
I
these
agree.
stories is adding up. But TB, man, as always, man, it's a pleasure to be able to share this with you. You feel me?
That's
So, and TC, let's get right.
Let's go
It's
get
later,
it.
Let's
baby.
go get it,
Let's
man.
go
We out
get
of
it.
here.
All right,
man.
man.
Until
Peace.
next time. Yes, sir.